a certain dynamic of everyone needs to be able to live. So even though we would like to be able to do it without having money, but money is a dynamic, a way to measure to how to you value each other, right? It is only a dynamic of self-worth. You do a job for someone, you help for someone, you produce food, you do that sort of stuff. You know, how do you value the person that dynamic? That value is either going to come through the dynamic of the collective, or it's going to come through a more individual dynamic, which is going to actually serve the capitalists. So, in a way, you've got a collective situation where everyone has a certain minimum of reality, of what shall we say, subsistence, subsistence, food, water, shelter. You know, even add healthcare and education to that dynamic. And so, in that situation, now all of a sudden, everybody has a lot more wealth, not a huge amount of wealth, but enough wealth to buy a candy bar, enough wealth to pay your electric bill, and if there even is one, or anything along those lines. So there is not that dynamic of that stress of survival. Now, take all of this wonderful technology that you have, take that dynamic of this huge water source, which is called the Mediterranean Sea, set up a number of desalination plants, and irrigate the desert and make the desert bloom. You have the technology, you have the ability to do that. And as people begin to develop more and more of those energetic dynamics, it doesn't have to be collectivism. It doesn't have to be communism. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Once people start having enough, they're going to start, once they have a stipend, you know what they're going to do with the stipend? They're going to spend it. And if they're not having to spend it on survival needs, then what are the possibilities? Thank you, John. This was quite the open door for this. So yeah, you know, we've got nodding heads here. So, you know, understand there are ways. Now it's being able to explain that and develop a dynamic of a narrative in some sort of way. Now, maybe it needs to be divided up and realize maybe what the stages are, because peace in itself is a complex dynamic, and you must deal with the dynamics of the complexity of it. So it's also a matter of getting people to emotionally realize what it would be. You know, what's the solution? Well, the solution is enough. It's not just throwing money at the problem. It's creating a dynamic of an infrastructure that is sustainable, that is self-supporting in that sort of way. So can it be done? Yeah. Do things have to simplify? We don't think so, but that's all up to you as a species. We cannot do this for you. Do we have any questions? Bob, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, you know, I always tell everybody that we're in this world, not of this world. And if we can just awaken to the fact that each of us as individuals has two intelligences, the intelligence of our mind and the intelligence of our heart. The intelligence of our mind is simply what we've been taught during this lifetime. The intelligence of our heart is who we are, who we've always been through past lives and spirit. And once we can learn to align the intelligence of our mind, the intelligence of our heart, then we'll have peace. Then we'll know what true love is.